Welcome to Xaverian Brothers High School, home of the Hawks, and tonight it's a weird one. A meeting of two teams that come in with records of 1-3 overall, the Brockton Boxers and the Xaverian Hawks. I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson, joined alongside my broadcast partner, Big Game Miles Jackson. Miles, Brockton really hung in with Everett 2 weeks ago, last week of course on the bye, and Xaverian back way in week 2 hung with the Everett Crimson Tide as well. Xaverian lost that game 27-21. Brockton 36-21, but they held a lead going into the middle of the third quarter. That's usually the measuring stick. Everett is usually one of the teams competing deep into the MIAA tournament.
16, Isaiah Laguerre.
But a good test for the Brockton Boxers to see if they can improve. And, of course, this year it doesn't go by divisions to get into the MIAA tournament. It goes by the MIAA power rankings, and that's where we'll start. Xaverian, 48th in the state. Brockton, 54th. So the loser of this game ultimately is a very real possibility that they won't make the postseason. And for these two teams, that's one hell of a streak that's going to be broken.
Yeah, this is a very critical game for both teams,
number 26,
for the Boxers and for the Hawks.
Noah Alawu.
Basically, it's a
tackle was made by number
rainy
44.
Evening, light rain, so the ball will be slippery. I think it's going to come down to who makes the least turnovers,
First and 10 for the Boxers.
Things like that to come out of here with the win. Brockton really needs a win here to keep going.
Xaverian winning the opening toss, electing to defer, so Brockton received the opening kickoff, as you mentioned. Very rainy day, and it is Isaiah Laguerre getting the screen pass, trying to turn the corner on the outside, and he is going to be pushed out at the original line of scrimmage. It is 51 degrees and absolutely pouring here in Westwood at the Hawk Bowl. It is the nor'easter that started just a few hours ago, and it's expected to continue to rain throughout the weekend.
Yeah, it is pouring, but it's a light rain. It's not heavy drops. It's light, but it's consistent. And as you said, the wind is blowing a little bit.
Empty set, 5 wide for the Boxers. Short gain for the Boxer quarterback.
Yeah, the Hawks defense.
Quarterback keeper by number 1, Devontae Medley.
So far, they've been in tune. First two
A
plays
2-yard
of the
gain makes it 3rd down and 9.
Well, last week, Devontae Medley had a decent afternoon for the Boxers. 81 yards passing, 9 of 25. No TDs, 1 interception. Medley back to pass. Now he's going to keep it himself. He's got a lot of room on the outside trying to turn the corner. He's got a first down for the Brockton Boxers.
Yeah, that was a nice decision.
Devontae Medley pushed out of bounds by number 10, Noah Campy.
10 free yards of pay dirt there, and he
First
took advantage.
down for the Boxers.
Well, the biggest story out of that every game, Miles, was the top running back of the Brockton Boxers, Amik Watterson, who has the ball now. He's Amik Watterson on the outside. He's in the open field. Amik Watterson all the way to the house. That's going to be a touchdown, Boxers. What a return for the Boxers running back, who, as I had started to mention, left in the middle of the first quarter with a concussion against Everett. He's back healthy after the bye week, and he immediately has the impact for the Boxers.
Yeah, he broke a lot of tackles there on that play. That was an outstanding running play up the middle, and he just broke tackles. Hawks players, defensive players slipping off of him, and just a great 60-yard touchdown run.
And that gives Amik Watterson, as the extra point attempt is up and good. So we check in with the Boxers scoring lead. Amik Watterson hanging in. He's got now 7 touchdowns on the year, or 6 touchdowns on the year with 1 2-point conversion. He leads all Boxers. Isaiah Laguerre not far behind him with 5 touchdowns. Overall, Trey Shula Hall behind him with 3 in what has been a potent but kind of sputtering Brockton offense. When they're on, Miles, they're on. And when they're off, it can get ugly, as we saw against Natick.
Well, with the conditions out here this evening, the running game on both sides of the football.
Back for the Hawks are number 22, Justin Wenstrom,
right
and
now,
number 4, freshman Michael Oates.
Michael Oates, Justin Wenstrom back to return for the Hawks. Xaverian wearing their home navy blue jerseys, gold stripe down the side, gold trim around the white numbers. The Boxers wearing their visiting white jerseys, maroon stripe down the side, and black trim around the maroon numbers. Amik Watterson to kick away. It is a short high end over end kick and a whistle. It's going to be offsides against Brockton. So that'll back the kick up a couple of yards.
And you can see where Watterson, he kicks, does the kickoff, so he's just an all-around athlete.
And this might be a good opportunity for Watterson. Now back 5 yards. He might want to try a squib kick here. It's wet, it's raining, it's going to be bouncing around. Give the Boxers an opportunity to possibly shake it loose. Here's the kick high over and then taken at the 24-yard line, and Oates is through, and he's brought down at the 49-yard line. A good return.
Up to midfield.
Oates.
Yeah, that was an excellent return by his Xaverian kick returner, number 4, Oates.
Diamond Blakely with the tackle.
So again, the running game will be very important for both teams this evening. And basically, when you're talking running game, you're talking about up front, which offensive line is going to push the defensive line back and make holes for the running backs.
Xaverian smaller than they have been in recent years. Still fairly big, however. Now back to pass is the Xaverian quarterback, who was hit late. That's number 8, Michael Berluti, the junior, 6 foot, 150 pounds.
Justin Wenstrom, but falls incomplete.
Yeah, Mad Dog, and it looked like there was some miscommunication.
Second down,
on the pass route that the Xaverian player was supposed to run. It was really not near. It looks like he kind of went down and turned around, and maybe the Xaverian quarterback thought he was going to go down and out.
For the Boxers, the guys on the defensive side of the ball to watch: Rodrigo Lima, Devin Forts. Dropping back to pass is Berluti. He's got his man, number 22, is Wenstrom, and he's knocked out of bounds across the 40 to the 38-yard line.
He was tackled out of bounds by number 12, Devin Forts.
Has chosen to
and number
their passing attack
15,
in this drive a
Rodrigo
little bit more
Lima.
than a running attack.
The Hawk Hut is open tonight for all your concession needs. The Hawk Hut is located at the scoreboard.
First and 10
end
for
of
the
field,
Hawks,
just inside
9:45 to go in the
main
first
entrance gate.
quarter.
First and
Berluti
10.
under center. The give to number 42 is Joe Kelkhorst, the sophomore running back, and he is brought down after a short gain of about 3.
So far, that offensive line for the Hawks have done their job up front as far as protecting the quarterback and then also making a nice little hole there for the running backs.
Formation, Berluti gives off, and he's got Kelcourse, and Kelcourse brought down by his shoestrings all the way down at the 15-yard line. That's a big first down for the Hawks.
Yeah, I want to say that was number 12 that
tackle made by number 21,
there.
Adrian.
That is Devin Forts.
Yeah, I believe it was Devin.
Forts leading the Boxers on defense.
First and 10 for the Hawks.
In addition to 1 interception, the defensive captain. And now it is a touchdown for the Hawks. That's number 4, Mike Oates.
Michael Oates.
And the Hawks answer.
That was great blocking by the Hawks, especially out there. Somebody took out the cornerback there, number 34, Blakely, for the Hawks, and he went right in untouched. So the Hawks answer back with a nice drive down the field for a touchdown.
And the first drives of each team, Miles, as expected, run heavy.
Yeah. Hawks at the beginning, they threw the ball a few times, but then they started running the football, and there was no stopping them.
Quarterback Mike Berluti lined up as the place kicker here. The kick is up. And the kick is good, 7-7 with 8:41 to go in the first quarter.
For 7-7.
What coming in, Miles, looked like a lackluster matchup. Xaverian and Brockton, they both haven't been 1-3 for a very long time.
Do you want to be a Xaverian Hawk?
I believe the 34th
Visit
time
our
these two
open
teams
house on
have
Sunday,
met.
October 27th,
Xaverian with
and
the upper
Thursday,
hand
November
in the overall
7th.
series.
Students, teachers, and
a lot of tradition
coaches
between
to
these
learn
two
how
teams. This
Xaverian
one's a little bit
redefining
different.
strong.
It just
For more
feels
details,
with both teams coming in 1-3. Heavy playoff implications early in this season. One of these teams is going to drop to 1-4, and that's a place that neither of these teams has been in quite some time.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning of the game, this is a very critical game for both teams to come out of here. Somebody needs, especially Brockton, needs to come out of here with a win to keep their hopes alive of getting to the playoffs.
Justin Wenstrom to kick.
Wenstrom to kick away. A nice kick all the way into the end zone and bobbled, and he's going to be forced to.
Yep, they're going to call touchback.
That's a lucky call for the Boxers.
Yeah, what happened was he first handled the ball in the end zone, so automatically right then and there, they called a touchback. That was a booming kick.
Block! Block!
So as we mentioned, the playoffs this year going off of the power rankings, and as we see Xaverian's last opponent
First down
was Catholic Memorial
and
High
10
School,
for the
who is
Boxers.
atop those power rankings. Xaverian losing that here at the Hawk Bowl. 42-10 was the final score in that one. Of course, a lot of familiarity between Xaverian and Catholic Memorial's new coach,
Medley with the carry. He was
DiBiase,
tackled
who
by
was formerly in
Gilchrist.
Everett, retired the next day, signed a contract with Catholic Memorial to be their head coach.
Gee, what was going on there? That was just too convenient.
Second down and 8.
It's 4 wide for Devontae Medley's offense. The give to Amik Watterson, spinning with it, able to get a few positive yards after he was hit in the backfield.
Watterson
And that
with
is
the
really
carry.
his bread and butter, is the yards
That tackle
after
was made
contact.
by
That
number
is
44,
Amik
Mike
Watterson's strong
Jordan.
suit.
It is his strong suit. He's very strong, athletic kid, and it's really you really got to get a good tackle on him. Otherwise, he's just going to keep going. And where it's wet this evening, it just makes it a little bit tougher.
7 minutes to go in the first quarter, all knotted up at 7 between these
Third down.
two historical powerhouse teams. 4 wide for the Boxers. Xaverian jumping in, everybody's pointing at Brockton, so
Ball
that'll
start
back up the
on the
Boxers.
Boxers.
It'll be a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Yeah, the right tackle for the Boxers moved just enough for the referees to see it. Well, that's a 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty.
That's one thing that last week
3rd down and 8.
had really affected the Boxers in the negative fashion. 5 penalties against the Boxers for 40 yards lost. Now, of course, one of those was a touchdown that was called back due to offensive holding. Now, an incomplete pass defended very nicely by number 22,
That pass was
senior Justin
intended
Wenstrom.
for number 26.
Yeah, that ball was going to Noah
Alawu.
Alawu, and the ball was on. If that ball could have been thrown on
Justin
to
Wenstrom
his
broke up that
outside
pass. It's 4th down now for the
right
Boxers.
shoulder, he might have had a better chance of catching it, but it was back inside. He had to turn around for it. Defender was right there. So it'll be a punting situation for the Boxers.
Low short kick, and you could see the wind kind of kill that one right at the 40.
That ball
Wenstrom
was
bringing it
fielded
back
by
to
Justin
about
Wenstrom.
the 39. And that is where we'll
Tackled
have the
by
second look of the
Devin.
evening of junior
Barlow.
quarterback Michael Berluti.
Yeah, the Hawks will have excellent field position, as you say, about the 39-yard line of Brockton. So Brockton's defense is really going to have to shore up here and try and hold this Hawk offense.
The Hawk Shop is open tonight inside the lobby for any of your
Dimitri
favorite Xaverian
Zumbanos,
fashions.
the senior
The shop will be
wideout
open
to the
inside
near
the
side
school
in
until the
man
end of
coverage.
halftime.
Berluti under
1st and
center,
10.
both wideouts to the near sideline. Berluti back to pass, looking to the sideline, and incomplete. That was intended for Justin Wenstrom.
Yep, thrown just out of the
Berluti's
reach of
pass incomplete.
Winston.
2nd down.
So the power rankings, Catholic Memorial on top at 5-0. Right behind them, Mansfield at 3-1. St. John's Prep in Danvers 5-0 at number 3. Central Catholic out of Springfield at 2-2. Central Catholic out of Lawrence at 3-1. And to round out the top 10, you've got Marblehead, Holliston, Methuen, Melrose, and one of the Boxers' former opponents, Natick.
Joe Kelcourse. A 2-yard
Natick
gain.
came to the Boxer
3rd
country and took care
down
of business.
and 8.
A little bit of revenge from last year's walk-off blocked field goal or blocked extra point attempt return for 2 points for the Boxers that gave them the walk-off victory in Natick, and that really stung the Red Hawks, and they came in with a lot of vengeance. Third and about 8 for the Hawks. He's going to give it off to number 42, Joe Kelcourse, the sophomore running back. And he's got
That carry was by
a
Joe
gain of
Kelcourse.
about 3. It'll be 4th and
4th
5.
down and 5 for the Hawks.
Got to imagine, Miles, in that gray area with the weather, that this would be 4-down territory for the Hawks.
Yeah. Boxers really need to hold right here. If they can hold, it'd be a good stance here in this first quarter.
3 wide for the Hawks. Berluti in the gun. 2 wideouts to the near side. Berluti back to pass on 4th down. He's got number 1,
Berluti's pass is
Dylan
complete to
Riley.
number 1,
but
Dylan
I
Riley.
believe he's going to be marked just shy of the 1st down. And it's going to be a turnover on downs for the Boxers.
Yeah, the wide receiver, in a case like
Riley
that, you really
short
need to know
of
where you're at
the
on the
first
field.
down.
And you need to get to that 1st down marker, then make your cut. He made his cut a little bit too early, and the defensive back was able to come up and
The ball was
stop
thrown a
the
little
play.
bit behind him,
Turnover
too.
on
He had to
downs will
adjust,
make it
and by the
first
time
and 10 for
that he
Brockton.
made that adjustment, tried to get to that first down marker, he was
4:26
engulfed by
remaining in the quarter.
Boxers defender. First and 10 for the Boxers with the chance to take a lead here with 4:25 to go now in the first quarter. 5 wide for the Boxers. Throwing into the wind is Devontae Medley. The give to Isaiah Laguerre. Laguerre cutting to the inside, shaking loose, and still on his feet. He's got a gain of about 3 down at the 34.
Gee, that was a hard
Isaiah
3 yards
Laguerre
there.
with
He
the
just
carry.
wouldn't go down.
He was hit first by Jack
Isaiah Laguerre
Asack,
last week, 3 touchdowns.
and then tackled by
2
a
of them
flock
on
of
a
Hawks.
running play right up the
Second
gut.
down.
The first on a 16-yard run, and the second on the first play of the Boxers' second drive, an 80-yard touchdown run for Isaiah Laguerre. And then to open the second half, a 92-yard kickoff return. And he had quite the day. 11 catches for 131 yards, 1 TD.
That
And
penalty
rushing,
is against the Boxers.
Laguerre had
5-yard penalty. Will
6
make it
carries
second
for
down and
145 yards. $276 yards, not counting kickoff returns for Isaiah Laguerre. If you count those, plus 300. Now it's Devontae Medley in the open field for the Boxers. He's to the outside and tackled way down at the 20-yard line. What a carry for Devontae Medley.
Devontae Medley with that carry for the Boxers.
Touchdown-saving tackle by John Azak.
He
Give
was
him
chased
credit.
down by Jack Asack.
And they're going to bring that back.
A flag
Hold
way
everything,
down in the
folks. There's a
backfield.
flag on the play.
And that's
Got to imagine
unfortunate.
that's holding.
Yeah.
And we saw that against Everett a couple times, and back a couple of weeks ago against Natick.
This is a holding penalty against
The
the Boxers.
Boxers haven't gone a game without one crushing penalty that negates a big play. And last week it was
Another
a touchdown
5-yard
for
penalty
Meek
will
Watterson
make it
early in the
second
first
down
quarter that
and
was ultimately
16
called
now
back
for Brockton.
for an offensive holding.
Yeah, that's one of Boxers' Achilles' heels so far this season is getting some of these big plays for touchdowns or close to a touchdown called back for whatever holding, or most of the time it's holding, but it's just a shame that that happened.
Second and 16 now for the Boxers instead of a first and 10 down at the Xaverian 20. Isaiah Laguerre on the end around carry, stopped at the line of scrimmage, might be
Medley with the
a
carry.
gain of a yard. It'll be third and 15.
Canty with the tackle. Third down now.
Trishula Hall without a target early in this game. .2:15 to go now in the first quarter. 5 wide for the Boxers with trips to the near side. Medley throwing it up into the wind for Laguerre, and there's a flag thrown deep in the
That pass was intended
secondary.
for
It's going to
Laguerre.
be pass interference
Incomplete. There is
against
a
the
flag
Hawks,
down.
and that's a big penalty.
That is a big penalty if it is against the Hawks. There was some contact when the players were running the route, and
I didn't think it warranted a flag, but there was a little bit of contact.
yep. And
That
that's
penalty
a
is
big,
against
big
the Hawks.
break for the Boxers. Finally,
That was weird. They players on the field were acting like it was against Brockton. They were marching all the way back after marching close to midfield, and then the ref made the signal, and everybody went back the opposite
The
direction
15-yard
again.
penalty.
yeah, of course,
and the
in high
first
school
down
football
for
is
the
a lot
Boxers.
different than the NFL. NFL pass interference is wherever the play, the pass interference is committed. Here, they walk it off from the original line of scrimmage.
Big 1st and 10 for the Boxers. Xaverian had too many men on the field, able to get the extra man off before the snap. Watterson for a gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
On that run. Watterson with the carry. 2nd down and 9.
Five wide for the Boxers, as well as a running back. Screen pass complete to Amik Watterson. Amik Watterson through the middle, still on his feet to the 44-yard line. Excellent run for Amik Watterson and a 1st down for the Brockton Boxers.
Amik Watterson is a very dangerous player when he's out there in the open field and flat. He has only one defender coming at him at a time. He's got the moves and the power to really make something happen every time he touches the ball in that situation.
Clean backfield for Devontae Medley, 5 wide out set. Looking long over the middle and adjusting for Isaiah Laguerre, who had to stop and try to come back for it. It falls incomplete as the wall of mist gets a little bit thicker.
You know, he made a beautiful adjustment to the football. It was thrown a little short, but when he came back for it, it was down by his knees. It's wet out there, so we'll have to give him a pass on that one. Maybe if it was dry, he would have a better chance on catching that football, but he did make a great adjustment on the football.
You can see how that wind is affecting the ball. It's just kind of dying. Now Medley pitches out to Amik Watterson, trying to get the far side, turn the corner. Able to get a gain of about 5.
Tackle made by
3rd and 5.
Yeah, I'm not sure who made the tackle for the Hawks, but that was a nice tackle. Went down by the ankles to trip him up, because if that defender didn't, it looks like he could have went a little bit further.
52 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. Brockton trying to string together a nice drive after the penalty negated the very long gain for Devontae Medley, trying to get their act together. And on the near side is Trey Shula Hall in man coverage in a tremendous mismatch for the Boxers wide receiver. Medley in the gun, a 4 wide out set. Watterson to his right. Medley's going to keep it himself. He's got the 1st down for Devontae Medley, trying to turn back inside. Devontae Medley through the middle.
And they're going to call it
Stopped
down at the
1. What a run for Devontae Medley. And the biggest thing on that play, Miles, no flags on the play.
I'll tell you, I was looking back here for a flag just in case. That's how it's been going for the Boxers on big plays. Same here, looking for flags. No flags. That was a play called right there, quarterback draw, and it worked to perfection.
So now it's 1st and goal from about 3 inches out. We're going to hit the end of the 1st quarter, all knotted up at 7 apiece between the historical heavyweights, the Xaverian Hawks, and the Brockton Boxers from the Hawk Bowl in Westwood, Massachusetts. One team is going to move to 2-3 on the year, and the other is going to probably get knocked out of playoff contention tonight, and that is very appalling when you hear the words Xaverian and Brockton and no playoffs.
Yeah, usually both of them are right there in the hunt for the playoffs, but it's a different year, and somebody's going to just be playing out for fun, and the other team is going to be fighting for a playoff spot. Continuing on in the season, one great thing about this drive for the Boxers, they're keeping the ball out of Xaverian's offensive hands, because Xaverian's a dangerous team on offense, as you can see. So nice time-driven drive here by the Boxers, and hopefully they can capitalize and punch this thing in.
Brockton, it would be pretty sweet for the Boxers to get overall win number 800 here against the Xaverian Hawks. That is what the Boxers are stuck at 799, and they really went for it and put up a tremendous effort against Everett last week, trying to get to that big 800th win.
Yeah, that game was closer than what the score says. That game was really decided in the fourth quarter on some tough breaks, mistakes the Boxers made, and Everett took advantage of those mistakes that Brockton made.
Of course, that was the fun matchup, and here we go for the Boxers. It's every man on the line. Devontae Medley. It looked like the ball came out on the snap, and Medley's going to be marked just short. So a couple weeks ago up at Everett, the two winningest teams in Massachusetts high school history. Everett with 811, now 812, and Brockton with 799. And it seems like Athletic Director Kevin Cairo stacked the schedule to try to get win number 800 against one of those historical teams that the Boxers have had so many matchups against.
Yeah, that's one thing about the Brockton Boxers. Over the years, they're not afraid to play the best. Brockton usually has one of the toughest football schedules season in, season out here in New England.
Medley under center, every man on the line. Medley's going to keep it himself. And pushed across the line by Amik Watterson as well as the fullback. And it's going to be a touchdown for the Boxers.
Yeah, that was a team effort right there. As some of the players, like you said, Watterson and company, pushed the quarterback and pushed him right through into the end zone. So that was a great team effort right there.
If there was assists in football, two of the Boxers would be getting assists on that play.
Yes, indeed.
So Brockton takes a 13-7 lead with 11:02 left in the second quarter. Flag's thrown. It's going to go against the Hawks. Let's see if that changes the Boxers' strategy, as it will be lined up on the 1.
I'd say go ahead and kick it.
Penalty there against Xaverian, moves the ball just closer to the
that Xaverian front line there is pretty tough.
Marcelo Tenorio, the kicker for the Boxers. The ball is snapped, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 14-7. Boxers on top with 11:02 to go in the second quarter.
Leads the Hawks 14-7.
And after seeing that devastating penalty, Miles, that was quite the effort on that drive for the Brockton Boxers to not let it get in their heads and drive the ball back about 75 yards.
Exactly. Great concentration to wipe that play out of their minds. Coach Colombo told them just keep going. This is a 48-minute football game. You have to play for 48 minutes, so anything can happen from start to end. So great concentration by the Brockton Boxers to continue down the field and get 7 points.
Meek Watterson to kick it away for the Boxers. And it was Watterson a couple of weeks ago that had a tremendous impact by not being able to be on the field for the Boxers. Of course, the punter, their place kicker, their top running back, and one of their top wideouts, as well as a middle linebacker on the defensive side of the ball, knocked out in the middle of the first quarter up at Everett Memorial Stadium. And if there was any time to get an injury, it was probably that, because you got the bye week and the extra time to recover from that.
Exactly.
To give to number 4, Mike Oates.
Kelcourse.
That's going to be Kelcourse for the Hawks.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle by Azar, senior linebacker.
Tackle made by number 6, Josiah Azar. Second down and 1.
This is one of those games where one swing of possession could decide the final outcome of this game as the Hawks give it to their fullback. Number 44, pounding it across the line.
Michael Gordon.
Mike Gordon, the junior fullback, 5'11", 200 pounds.
Exactly. It's gonna come down to who makes the least mistakes, and it's gonna also come down to defense. Which defense can hold that offense?
And on the line, doing the majority of the work in the middle is senior captain Rocco Basso, 6'2", 275 for the Hawk captain. Kel Course on the carry, pounds ahead for a gain of about 4 yards.
Carry. He was hit first by number 5.
It'll be second and long, about 5.5 to go for the Hawks with 9.5 to go in the second quarter.
Yep, Hawks running right down the middle.
Number 67,
Grinding it out at the moment.
on the tackle. Second down and 5.
In that first quarter, they did a lot of passing, but right now, this drive is running the football.
To give to Kelcourse a gain of about 1.5 yards, it'll be about 4 to go.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was a big hit by number 15, Lima. For the Boxers. So big third down right here. Boxers would like to hold and make it a long fourth down to go for a first. If they can hold them here with no gain, I think Xaverian has no choice but to punt the football.
Lima leading the Boxers with 21 tackles on the year, 6 assists. Now to pass and complete. Not to the intended receiver, but Dimitri Sumbanos
That pass was complete.
has the first
5,
down.
Dimitri
It was
Sumbanos.
originally intended, I believe, for Justin Wenstrom.
I got to tell you, Zabanos
Adrian
did a
Thier on the
nice, he went
tackle.
downfield, knew where the first down markers, and did a nice little button hook. And it was a nice catch.
First
he had to
down
slide
for the
for it. And they're rewarded with a first down in Boxer territory.
Power eye for the Hawks now under center. They give to Kelcourse and charging up ahead for a gain of about 4.
Yeah, going back to that first
Kelcourse
down play
again.
there, that was an excellent play action because they've been running
Kevin
the
McCarthy
football
in on the tackle.
on this drive, and all of a sudden they did a little play action fake, froze the defensive backs and gave the receivers time to make their cut, and he threw it right there to him.
High formation again for the Hawks. Eluded to Kelcourse.
Wow, that was a big hole that the
Kelcourse
offensive line for
with the
Xaverian
carry.
made for the
Good
running
for
back,
Xaverian.
Kelcourse.
First down.
And good
He was tackled
game-saving
by
tackle there.
number 16, Isaiah Laguerre.
So Isaiah Laguerre, the leading wide receiver for the Boxers on the tackle. A majority of the Boxers starters playing both ways. Now it's Oates this time, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was nice pursuit by the Brockton defense
That
over
ball
there
was
on the
carried by
right-hand
Michael
side.
Oates. Tackled by a pack of Boxers.
Maybe a gain of 1.
Rodrigo Lima on the stop for the Boxers. A very generous spot to the 26-yard line. It'll be second and about 8.5 to go. Oates and Kelcourse in the backfield. Berluti under center. They pitch out, and now it's going to be reversed. And number 2, Eric Foster, the senior wide receiver on the end around, was looking to pass it. He couldn't get a handle on the ball and ended up getting tackled for a big loss. It's going to be
Eric
third
Foster
and
tackled in the
north
backfield.
of 20 to go.
Yeah, that was a great play by
Third
Josiah
down
Azar.
for
He was
Xaverian.
fooled a little bit, but he used his speed to catch up to the receiver on the play. It was a double reverse. It was intended to be a pass there, but Brockton recovered well on defense. A nice play by number 6, Josiah Azar.
Third and 20 to go. Berluti in the gun, drops back to pass. The screen pass is complete, but Sumbanos lost the ball and ended up falling right back on. It'll be interesting to see if...
Yeah, they're going to call that a completion.
Fourth
It's
down
an interesting
for
one.
the Hawks.
That brings up a 4th and a lot.
I'm wondering if Brockton would have recovered on that if they would have called it still a completion. Brockton
Usually
always-
with the incomplete pass in a situation like that, they blow it dead immediately and hold up the incomplete pass. Not the case here, so Berluti into punt. He stands at the Xaverian 45-yard line. Into the wind. Good snap. Berluti high end overend kick. Nice kick. And it's going to roll out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Nice kick by Berluti, and
kick rolls
Brockton
out of
is
bounds
facing a very
inside the
long field.
5-yard line.
Yeah,
where
that was a
Brockton
beautiful
will take
kick.
over with 4:20
4:20
remaining
left
in the half.
first half. Boxers have to be very careful with the football. They have to hold on to it and just try to get up the field a little bit. Be great if they could drive down the field, but right now it's protecting the football because they're deep in their own territory.
So long field ahead. Boxers have to drive 96 yards.
First and
4:20
10
to go
Brockton.
in the first half for the Boxers. Medley on the quarterback keeper, bounces off his lineman, tripped up at about the 8-yard
Medley with the
line.
carry. Noah
Boxers
Canty was in
with
on the
their
tackle.
traditional long field drive start with a couple of runs to try to give themselves a little bit more breathing room, and I'm sure once they're north of the 10, they'll start to try to air it out a little bit.
Yeah, Medley took a big hit on that play, but he bounced right up. Went back over to the coach. Get the next play.
Medley gives off to Watterson. No, he keeps it himself. Devontae Medley across the 10 to the 30, all the way up to the 32, the 30-yard line,
with
and
the
that
carry.
is a phenomenal game
That
for
tackle was
Devontae
made
Medley
by
and
number
fooled
22,
everybody in
senior
the
captain,
entire
Justin
stadium,
Wenstrom.
including both of the commentary teams here in the booth.
First down.
That was just a beautiful fake by the quarterback, Medley. Again, as you said, Mad Dog, he faked us both out and everybody else in the stadium. Nice play. Big play there for the Boxers with 3:09 left here in the third quarter.
No
Excuse
surprise.
me, second quarter.
No surprise, Medley in the shotgun 5 wide now with a lot of breathing room. It was intended for Isaiah Laguerre, who couldn't get his hands on
That pass was
the very
intended
wet
for
ball.
Isaiah Laguerre.
Yeah, he also slipped. I
It
mean,
falls
that just tells
incomplete.
you this field is very slick.
Second
The
down.
football is slick. Your hands
For
are
Brockton.
wet. It's just tough to have a passing game, a consistent one. That's why you're running a little bit, then you might want to throw a pass, but you never know what's going to happen. You kind of hold your breath.
They give to Watterson, and Meek Watterson in the open field. Here he goes, Meek Watterson to the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown Boxers, Meek Watterson, his second touchdown of the evening, and that gives the Boxers a 2-possession lead.
Touchdown for
And
Brockton.
that's why the running game has been so important for both sides in this football game, especially for the Boxers with Watterson, who's a game breaker. Excellent job breaking tackles. Give the offensive line credit for opening up enough space for him to get through and let him do his thing, and you just saw it right there.
Meek Watterson, the transferred up a couple of years ago from Tennessee, joining the Brockton Boxers, and now the extra point is up and good. 21-7, the Boxers
Is good.
with a 2-touchdown lead here at the Hawk Bowl with just about 2:49 to go in the second quarter. What a huge drive on a 96-yard field for the Brockton Boxers.
Yeah, Brockton Boxers got two advantages here. They got a quarterback that can run and fake it, and they have the running back, Watterson. So Xaverian's defense has a tough decision, split second decision to make when they're out there, when they have that little fake. Either Watterson will get the football, or Medley will keep the football. So that was just and they're both game breakers, but especially Watterson. He is the man out there.
Watterson now 7 touchdowns on the year, leading the way for the Brockton Boxers. What a first half for Meek Watterson and the Brockton Boxers offense.
I mean, he's got 2 rushes for touchdown, one 60 yards, one about 63 yards. And so that's 120-something yards right there on his touchdown runs, and then you add the regular runs.
Made by number
and then
34,
one run came, or was that the quarterback that they called it back?
That was the quarterback, Devontae Medley.
Yes.
Please remember the Hawk
as we expected, the running game is really going to be the most effective part of both sides' offense tonight.
Exactly.
You'll find the Hawk Shop. Maybe some warm, dry clothes for tonight's weather.
Never mind handling the football, it's also tough to make tackles out there, especially in the open field where the field is slick. And that gives the running back or the ball carrier the advantage.
Kelcourse up the middle, and he's got a gain of about 8.5, maybe 9. 2:39 and counting.
I tell you, Josiah Azar put on another big hit on the Xaverian running back. Nice hole that was opened up by the offensive line.
Oh, it's Kelcourse up the middle. He's got a first down.
Yeah, that time it was Lima with the tackle. I tell you, these Brockton Boxers, these linebackers are putting on some big hits out there on these Xaverian running backs. Yep, we got about 2 minutes and 3 seconds and counting.
3 wide, 2 split to the far side for the Xaverian Hawks. Berluti back to pass. Little screen pass intercepted for the Brockton Boxers. Number 14 trying to bring it to the house. He's going to be brought down at the 5-yard line. That is Devin DiCarvalho, the senior defensive end. And that is a huge turnover, and the Boxers have a chance to swing a 3-possession lead approaching halftime.
Yeah, Devin read that perfectly. I don't think the quarterback saw Devin standing there, and all Devin had to do was hold on to the football and take it to the house. Nice play by Brockton's defense there. Give the offense another chance to put one more score on this board before this first half ends.
It's going to be 1st and goal from the 4-yard line for the Boxers to start this drive. That one looked like it slipped out of Berluti's hand a little bit. It was one of those little jump passes, short.
Yeah, and that's the only problem when you're passing in this type of weather. Anything can happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a false start against the Boxers right on the center. Taking number 74, Colvin Andrade. This is one of those games that if you're the New England Patriots, you would prepare for by dunking balls in water all week in practice just to get used to the feel of the wet ball. Meek Watterson The end around give to Isaiah Laguerre, trying to turn the corner on the inside. He's brought down for a loss at the 11. Dylan Riley on the stop for the Hawks.
Yeah, that was nice defensive
Second and
pursuit by
goal
the
now
Xaverian Hawks
for Brockton.
defense there on the left side. They read it
Just under
perfectly,
90
and
seconds remaining in the half.
Brockton's running back had really nowhere to go.
Now second and goal from the 11. 3 wide for the Boxers. Watterson to Medley's left. The give to Watterson is stacked up immediately, and it's going to be another loss of 2. It'll be third and goal from the 14-yard
Mike
line.
McGough and Mike Gordon.
Yeah, the problem with that play was the offensive line for the Boxers could not hold the defensive line, and they were right in there when the beginning of the exchange was supposed to happen between the quarterback and the running back.
And goal.
And they were just lucky that that ball was jarred loose. But give credit to Xaverian's front line right there. They came right in and broke up that play.
25 seconds to go. In a timeout called with third and goal from about the
Timeout.
13-yard line for the Boxers.
Yeah, and Coach Colombo did a smart thing right there. Let the clock run down. Don't give Xaverian any chance of getting the football back with some time to do something with the football.
Third down with 23 ticks to go in the first half.
30 seconds on the clock, please.
We're going to adjust the clock to 30 seconds.
Please put 30 seconds on the clock.
I'm doing it! Relax!
– 30 seconds on the clock. Four wide for the Boxers. Isaiah Laguerre to the near side, along with Forts. Watterson to Medley's right. Medley in the gun. Third and goal from the 13-yard line. Watterson splits out to the far side. Medley back to pass. He's in trouble. Medley's going to keep it himself to the outside. Medley across the 10. He's hit, and he's going to be knocked out at the 5.
Medley pushed out of bounds. He was hit first by Dylan Riley.
I believe that penalty was called against the Brockton Boxers, so.
There's a flag down on the field around the 30-yard line.
And Xaverian is going to accept the penalty. It will be
Well, what do you do here?
see if they count that as a loss of down here. They're not. It's going to be third and goal from the 13.
Okay.
Now they're walking it back from the 17 all the way back. So third and goal from about the 27-yard line. I think you got to air it out here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but you really don't have a choice.
Indeed, it is 5 wide for the Boxers. Medley back to pass to the sideline and caught. And it's a touchdown, Boxers.
Wow. Who was that?
Noah Olawu on the touchdown reception. No flags on the field, and what a play after the penalty for the Boxers.
That was a great catch, tough pass to make, but the receiver went up, concentrated in the rain, in the wind, and caught that football, broke a tackle, and took it to the house. Just a great play all around by the Brockton offense.
11 seconds remaining in the second quarter, and the Boxers have a 3-touchdown lead. The extra point attempted by Marcelo Tenorio, and it is good. 28-7 for the Brockton Boxers, trying to get program win number 800 against their longtime rival, the Xaverian Hawks. It was Noah Olawu on the 27-yard touchdown reception for the Boxers, and he gets on the score sheet for, I believe, the first time this season. Indeed it is. Boxers spreading out their scoring. That is the 8th Boxer to get on the score sheet this season.
Yeah, that was just a great catch by Alowo. Noah. Great concentration. Nice pass by Medley to get it over there to him to have the chance to catch the football. And the defender was all on him. I don't know how he caught that, but the defender was all on him.
Oates trying to turn the corner on the far side. He's brought down at the 36-yard line with 4 seconds on the clock.
4 seconds remaining in the half.
So let's see if Xaverian tries to toss it up or if they just take a knee and go into the break down 3 touchdowns. And this is quite the swing from recent years, Miles. Last time we were here at the Hawk Bowl, it was twice in one season, one in the regular season, one in the playoffs, and Xaverian getting the better of the Boxers both times, 33-0 the first time, 35-0 the second matchup.
Yeah, that really hurt.
Kelcourse a gain of about 6, and the clock hits 0.
That's the end of the
28-7, the Brockton Boxers putting on an offensive clinic here at a windy, rainy, messy Hawk Bowl, trying to get program win number 800 against their longtime rival, the Xaverian Hawks.
Yep, and give the Boxers credit on defense to stretch that lead with the interception there by the linebacker for the Boxers.
It was Devin DiCarvalho on that interception with less than 2 minutes to go, and then the Boxers able to eventually get it home after a couple of penalties brought it back to the 27-yard line. Amik Watterson, a couple of big scores for the Boxers in that first half, Miles.
Yeah, the offense stayed focused. They had some big plays called back, but they stayed focused. Coach Colombo had the team focused to keep going. Their running game was just excellent so far this evening.
28-7 your score at halftime. The Brockton Boxers and the Xaverian Hawks going at it here in what could determine one of these two teams' playoff fates. 28-7 Brockton over Xaverian at halftime. We're going to step aside, take a short break, and bring you second half action right after this. Hello and welcome back into a very wet, very windy Hawk Bowl in Westwood, Massachusetts for second half action between the Brockton Boxers and the Xaverian Hawks. Once again, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson, joined alongside my broadcast partner, Big Game Miles Jackson. Miles, the Boxers have had a big game in the first half. They lead their longtime rivals 28-7 coming into the third quarter.
Yep, and it's been a mostly running game, but that last touchdown by the Boxers was a great pass play and pass catch for the Boxers. And basically, it's been a running game. Both teams have passed a little bit. Both defenses have been pretty good, but Brockton's offense has had the upper hand in that first half. We'll see what happens here in a second.
It is 51 degrees, raining sideways, misting, and it's very difficult for the Boxers and the Hawks to hold on to the ball. No turnovers as of yet, except for one interception thrown by quarterback Mike Berluti. That was brought down to the 4-yard line by Devin DiCarvalho, setting up the last Brockton score. The leader for the Boxers is Amik Watterson, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, and is going to be a pass interference flag thrown against number 34 of the Boxers, Diamond Blakely, who was back in coverage, and he just got tangled up
Yeah, the problem with Diamond on that play was he didn't look back at the quarterback when the pass was thrown, and so he really didn't pay attention, had his back turned to the quarterback, bumped into the receiver, and that's a pass interference call right there.
Yeah, it's a big one. Blakely wearing the pink sleeves. Of
Pass
course, this is
interference
the
play.
first Boxers game in October, Breast Cancer
Hawks
Awareness
now
Month.
across midfield, first and
Gotta
10
give a
from
shout
the
out. I
46
know he's
yard
probably
line.
not watching this, but D'Angelo Williams, former NFL running back, sponsoring 500 mammograms for women in honor of his mother who succumbed to breast cancer just a few years ago.
Yeah, this is a great
Joe
contribution
Kelcourse with the carry.
by the
He was
football
tackled
player
by
there.
number 6, Josiah
To do that.
Azar.
Berluti in the gun, the power formation, back to pass, in trouble, he throws it, and it's complete to number 22, Justin Wenstrom, who's got another first down for the Hawks.
Berluti's
Yeah, that was
pass
a great
was
second
complete
effort after
to
he caught the football
Justin
pass.
Wenstrom.
He broke the first tackle.
Another first down for
Now
the
moved
Hawks.
the ball up for a first down, and big play right there for Xaverian to keep this drive going.
The Boxers wearing their visiting all white jerseys, white pants, maroon stripe down the side, black trim around the maroon numbers. Xaverian wearing their home navy blue is, I think that is number 5. On the go route, Dimitri Subanos. Xaverian wearing their home navy blue
That
jerseys,
ball
gold
was
stripe down the
complete
side, gold
to
trim
Dimitri
around the
Subanos.
white numbers. Longtime rivals battling each other for
He was tackled
potentially
by Diamond Blakely.
a playoff spot. One of these two teams
Second
is
down,
almost
3.
guaranteed to not make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're battling someone to stay in the playoff hunt. The other one basically will not be playing in the playoffs if they lose this football game.
It was intended for Wenstrom in around the 2-yard line. It fell
An
incomplete,
incomplete
no
pass
call.
intended
Yeah, that
for
was good
Justin
coverage
Wenstrom.
by, I couldn't see who was covering back there. I believe number
Third down.
34.
That would be Diamond Blakely.
It was good coverage here. At that time, he looked back at the quarterback.
Both of these teams coming into this game at 1-3 overall. Not something you usually hear when you think of Xaverian and Brockton in the powerhouse matchup that this has been over the years. Berluti screen pass complete to Wenstrom on the far side, and he is brought down by Isaiah Laguerre.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle out there because
Justin
if
Wenstrom tackled
the
out of bounds.
Xaverian receiver could have
by
broke that
Laguerre.
tackle, most
But
likely
that's
he
good for
could have
another
went for the end
Xaverian
zone. So
first
good
down.
tackle there. Touchdown saving tackle.
Two wideouts to the near side. Oates and Kelcourse in the backfield. The give to Kelcourse. He's brought down after a short gain of maybe 3 yards.
Yeah, nice stop by the Brockton defense.
Kelcourse was hit first by number 67, Jaden Comp.
Xaverian coming off a 42-10 loss against Catholic Memorial. Brockton coming off a 36-21 loss against Everett in a potentially Super Bowl matchup. And here's number 12. That's
Kelcourse.
Hanson, or that's Kelcourse rather, for the Hawks, getting down within the
Tackled by
5-yard
Laguerre.
line and
It
brought
will
down
be
by
first
Isaiah
and
Laguerre.
goal for the Hawks.
Kelcourse made a nice cut. Once he cut up the middle, he used his speed, broke a tackle, and made a nice gain inside the 5-yard line.
You think of the two teams that both Brockton and Xaverian lost to in their last matchups. That could be the Division I Super Bowl, Everett against Catholic Memorial. And Kelcourse on the carry, I think he's going to be marked just shy. It's going to be
Joe
now
Kelcourse with the carry.
second and goal from about half a yard
It'll be
out.
second and goal
Inside of 9 minutes
from
in the
inside
third
the
quarter.
1-yard line.
quarterback keeper. No sign yet, and they're going to give it to him. The quarterback keeper for a touchdown for Michael Berluti, the junior quarterback. And that brings Xaverian within 2 touchdowns, 28-13 now the score, 8:29 to go in the third quarter.
Well, it gives Xaverian credit coming out of the locker room. A little bit down, but the coaches must have gave a nice pep talk inside the locker room, told them this game is not over. It's rainy, it's wet, anything can happen. Just come out here and execute.
Henry Fleckner to hold.
Berluti also the place kicker. The ball is snapped, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 28-14 the score. Xaverian opening the scoring.
8:29 remaining in the third quarter.
Here in the
Brockton
second
28.
half.
Yep, Xaverian did a nice job bringing the ball down with a collection of runs and
Xaverian
passes,
14.
mixing it up. Kept the defense on their heels and went down and got 7 points with 8:29 left in this third quarter. Now Brockton will get the football back for the first time in the third quarter. And what Brockton has to do, it's very important that Brockton needs to hold on to the football a little bit, drive down the field. They necessarily don't have to score a touchdown, but they need to get some first downs and
to kick for the Hawks.
keep that Hawks offense off the field.
Nice kick with the wind, and Watterson loses the ball at the 1. He picks it up, and now Meek Watterson right up the gut. Meek Watterson still on his feet, tackled by his ankles all the way at the 27-yard line. What a return, Miles, by Meek Watterson. It looked like it was going to be another long field for the Boxers.
Yeah, and Eric Foster for the Hawks made a shoestring tackle there. Otherwise, Watterson was off to the races. He might have had one more Xaverian player to beat, but that was a great return after muffing the football down there at the 1-yard line. Looked up the field and followed his blocks nicely, put the speed on.
First and 10.
3 wide out set, 2 running backs surrounding Devontae Medley. Quarterback keeper, and a gain of about 5.
Colin
Second and about 4 to go for the Boxers. Looking to answer the Hawks opening touchdown for the second half.
For the Boxers.
And again, the Boxers need some ball control here. Use up some of that clock here in the third quarter. March it down the field as far as possible.
Medley gives it off to Isaiah Laguerre. He splits ahead for a short gain of about a yard. It'll be
Laguerre
third
tackled
and
by a flock of Hawks.
about 2.5 to go for the Boxers.
Third down
So
and
if they give it
2.
off to Medley on this third and short situation.
And this is a big third and short because of their first third down of the attempt here in the third quarter. So they need to, again, continue driving the ball down the field. So they really need a first down here.
Same shotgun for Medley. Laguerre, Watterson surrounding him. They give off to Isaiah Laguerre, and he's stopped in the backfield. It's going to be a loss.
Xaverian defense comes up with
And
the
that was
stop.
a big stop by Xaverian's
Fourth down
defense.
for the
Again, the
Boxers.
front line penetrated the offensive line of Brockton's and made the big play, which will cause the Boxers to punt the football.
Last second change to get the punting team on the field for Brockton. The
Mikey
punter
Gloria, the first one in on that hit.
for the Boxers, Kevin McCarthy back. Low snap, a flag thrown. It's going to be a false start. That'll back the Boxers
That
back
penalty is
up.
against
and will
Brockton's
be
offense.
about a 4th and 9 now instead of the 4th and 4. Kicking into the wind is McCarthy. The Hawks receivers at the 50-yard line. High snap, McCarthy handles it, kicks away, almost blocked. A good kick, takes a nice Brockton bounce all the way down to the 40 to the 35, still going, and touchdown at the 35.
That ball was touched
Nice kick
dead
by
at
Kevin
the
McCarthy
35-yard
into the
line
wind.
by number
Yes,
21.
and, good concentration because he felt the
Xaverian
heat
Football.
coming on by Xaverian, and he was able to get that foot. It wasn't a pretty kick, but it was good enough and nice little Brockton bounce.
Adrian Fillet on the stop for the Boxers, touching that ball down at the 35-yard line. Even 5:55 to go in the third quarter.
Boxers defense needs to really tighten up now. It's only a 2-touchdown lead, but still a lot of football to go.
First and 10.
They need to get that football back into their offensive
in the third
hands.
quarter.
Powerful motion, Berluti to pass, looking long for Wenstrom, and broken up nicely by Adrian Fillet.
Yep, Adrian
Intended
stayed
for
right
Wenstrom,
with him.
but incomplete.
Looked back at the quarterback, saw the football coming, a little bit overthrown, but nice coverage by Brockton's defensive back there.
Second and 10 for Berluti and the Hawks. They give off to Kel Korse. Gain of about 4, so it'll be third and about 6 to go for Xaverian.
I tell you, these Xaverian backs, they really hit the holes really hard. No hesitation. They just go right there where the opening is.
Third down and 6 for the Hawks.
Boxers need a big third down stop here. After their first drive of the second half led to the punt. Berluti back to pass. Short is going to be at the feet of Wenstrom. And that brings up 4th and 6.
Fourth down for the Hawks.
Great stance by the Brockton defense right there.
Lining up to punt with the wind. Isaiah Laguerre, the lone boxer, back. It is Berluti. About 15 yards back of the line to punt it away. Watch the fake, last second motion for the punt formation. A lot of blockers as Brockton lined up to block it. Now Berluti with a nice kick. Bumbled by Laguerre, and he falls on it at the 29. Flag thrown in late.
Laguerre recovers the loose ball, but there is a flag on the play at the 30-yard line.
Wow, Brockton held their breath there. That ball is slippery.
Let's see what the call is.
Oh.
Illegal block in the back against the Boxers. Will back them up even further, but blessed to just have possession of the ball after Isaiah Laguerre
That penalty
bobbled
is
that
against
one.
the Boxers.
Went right down his chest and stomach and into the ground. A very wet,
We'll move the ball back
slippery
15 yards.
pigskin out there.
And again, the Boxers have to be careful. Besides moving up the field, they're going to have to protect that football. 5 minutes, 5 seconds left in this third quarter. Boxers with only a 2 touchdown lead.
A first and 10 from the 19 for Devontae Medley and the Boxers offense. Medley again on the quarterback keeper, and that fools the middle
quarterback
linebacker
keeper
every single
by
time.
Medley.
Yeah, Medley was hit,
No Canty in on the
bent back a
tackle
little bit.
with Mike
He
Gordon.
jumps right up.
Gain of about 5 for Devontae Medley. 2nd and 5 to go for the Boxers offense from about the 25-yard line. Devin Forts to the far side. The Boxers go 4
Second
wide.
down.
Laguerre, the man in motion, pitched out to Amik Watterson, hit in the backfield, and he's brought down for a
Watterson
loss of
hit
about
first
6,
by
and that's a big stop for the Xaverian Hawks.
number
Yeah,
10,
they did a
Noah
nice job
Canty.
reading that play, then taking advantage. It didn't quite develop well. And the Boxers are backed out with a long third down situation here. Big third down here for the Boxers early on. Well, late in this third quarter. This is a big third down. They like to keep this football. They don't want to give it back to the Hawks while they got the momentum swinging on the offensive side.
Five wide now for the Boxers. Medley in the shotgun. Medley back to pass.
Oh, big catch. Big
Nice
catch.
catch.
That
On the
pass
far
was
side by
complete to
Devin
number
Forts.
12, Devin Forts.
Devin went up high for that one. Great catch because the ball was wet. His hands were wet, and he was able to hold on to it somehow, and the Boxers get a big first down and continue with this drive.
A huge first down for
Yes.
the Boxers.
First and 10 for the Boxers.
Three wide, handing off to Isaiah Laguerre, rather keeping it himself, and it's a gain of a yard.
Medley keeps the ball, but he's tackled by Mike McGough.
That looked like another one of
And
those things,
Mike
Miles, where Devontae Medley had hesitation handing the ball off to Isaiah Laguerre, ultimately ended up keeping it himself, but running with Laguerre for a couple of yards horizontally.
Yeah, the way that Brockton runs this offense with the option is very dangerous. When you got wet conditions like this, the ball is slippery. Their hands are slippery, so you just kind of hold your breath. And so far, they've been giving an A. They haven't really fumbled the football. Don't want to jinx them.
Medley hands off to Amik Watterson. Watterson up the middle. He's got a gain of
Watterson
about
with the carry.
5. It'll be third and
He was
about
tackled
3.
by
Yeah,
Vince Gilchrist.
Waterson's so dangerous.
Third down now for the Boxers.
Big situation. You want it in
1:55
his
remaining in the
hands
third quarter.
if you can. Because now we got a third and short, about what, 3 yards to go for first. Another big third down for the Boxers. 1 minute 34 seconds in this third quarter.
Every man on the line, quarterback keeper for Devontae Medley, looking to get some help. He's going to be stopped short.
Yeah, that play did not
Big
develop
stop
well for the
by
Boxers,
Hawks.
as the Hawks were ready for it.
Stopped at the line, 4th and 3
Fourth
to
down.
go for the Boxers, who
Fourth down and
This is
3
definitely
yards
a
for the
punting
Boxers.
situation.
they do indeed send out Kevin McCarthy and the punting team.
So the Hawks stand tall on defense, and they'll get the football back with less than a minute to go here in the third quarter.
McCarthy back at the 29. Low snap right past McCarthy, and he's going to try to get it away. He does. What a recovery, and
Excellent.
all the way down to the 42-yard line. What a recovery for Kevin McCarthy, who was surrounded by Hawks, and he kind of pooched it at the last available
Exactly.
second.
That was sort of like a pooch punch. He punt, just got it off enough to get it back into Xaverian territory. And a great job by the punter to save Brockton from disaster right there.
And rightfully getting some accolades on the sideline is Kevin McCarthy. That could have been trouble.
Yes, big trouble.
First down and 10 for the Hawks.
About 36 seconds to go in the third quarter. First and 10 for Xaverian. Galudi to pass, looking long and incomplete for Justin
Incomplete
Wenstrom on the far
pass
side. It's a
intended
touchdown
for
if he
Justin
catches it, but
Wenstrom.
just a hair overthrown.
Yeah, he had the defender beat, just, like you said, just out of his reach. And if he would have caught that, that would have been a touchdown.
Second and 10 for the Hawks from the 42-yard line.
Yep, Xaverian was going for broke right there on that play.
Timeout, Brockton.
Timeout called by Brockton. 31 seconds to go in the third quarter. Brockton again trying to get overall win number 800. Trying to be the second team in Massachusetts history to accomplish that feat, right behind Everett.
And I'll tell you, Matt, that was a good timeout right there by Coach Colombo to get his defense a little bit settled down, talk to him along with the defensive coordinator and work it out, because this is a big defensive stance right here for the Boxers. They cannot afford to let Xaverian march down the field. They've already got a little momentum by scoring a touchdown on that first drive in the beginning of the third quarter. So good time out there by Coach Colombo. Settle his defense down a little bit.
Brockton yet to score in this second half, leading 28-14 over the Xaverian Hawks. Berluti in the gun. Kelcourse to his left. The fake is going to be tipped.
Incomplete pass.
I couldn't see it, but a nice job by Brockton defense getting their hands up.
I think it was Josiah Sari on the tip for Brockton.
Yep, he got his hands up. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. Get your hands up. Get your hands up. Just, and there's some songs. Get your hands up. Get your hands up.
27 seconds to go in the third quarter. Xaverian now a 3rd and 10 from about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, big third down right here for Xaverian as well as Brockton.
3rd down and 10.
3 wide for the Hawks. Kelcourse to Berluti's right. Berluti passes complete to number 1, Dylan Riley, who's going to be stacked up at the 46-yard line, brought down
Dylan Riley
immediately. That'll bring up a
46-yard line.
4th and long. It'll be 4th and about 5 to go for the Hawks. Time winding down here in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was a quick slant in.
4th down
He
for
caught
Xaverian.
it about 5 yards
Heading
short
back
of the
for the
first down, but
Boxers is
nice
number
defensive
16,
recovery.
Isaiah
Little gang
Laguerre.
tackling right there by the Brockton Boxers
That's the end
to
of the
make
third
sure the
quarter.
receiver did not get the first down.
Excuse me, timeout.
A timeout called by Xaverian
Timeout
with
called by Xaverian with 1 second.
1 second
remaining.
to go in the third quarter. I don't know why you call it timeout there. Kinda seems like a waste of a timeout when the whistles were gonna blow in 1 second.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the play clock was gonna expire.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Very
a
good.
very fair point pointed out by the scoreboard operator here. Xaverian called a timeout so they could kick into the wind, and then Brockton will have to
Oh, good
turn
decision.
around, and that's some good strategy thinking outside the box for
Very good.
head coach Al Fornaro of the Hawks. As Isaiah Laguerre back to receive. Berluti handles the snap. A high booming kick. And it's going to take a good Brockton bounce back and
That ball is
touchdown
fielded by
at the
number
19-yard
7,
line, where it is touchdown by Henry
Henry
Fleckner.
Fleckner.
And
that is the end of the
third quarter. 28-14 Brockton on top
28-14
in a
Brockton.
battle of historical playoff foes and 2 of the top teams consistently in the state. Both having off years coming into this game at 1-3. Brockton trying to get big win number 800. And with the end of the third quarter, we want to acknowledge that the Brockton community has lost a couple of valuable members in the last couple of weeks since
How
that
about a hand
Everett
for our
game.
Fonfon cheerleaders down on the track tonight?
Tom Monahan,
Out there
Ward 2
braving
City
the weather.
Council, losing his son the last couple of days. Tim Monahan, Barth syndrome, and of course your mother, a mother to many in the Brockton community, Deaconess Ramona Jackson.
Yes, and my thoughts and prayers go out to Councilman Tom Monahan for the loss of his son. It's never easy when one of your siblings goes before you. And thank you for the thoughts and prayers with my mom.
Mother to many in the Brockton
Yes,
community.
yes, she was something else in the Brockton community, along with it at her church at Messiah Baptist.
A big loss here on a broken play. Medley tried a screen pass that ended up getting blown backwards, so it turns out to be a lateral that was bobbled and almost fumbled. It'll be second
A 5-yard
and
loss
long.
on that play will make it second
and
down
15,
and
a 5-yard
15.
loss.
Yeah, that didn't look good at all. They really need to regroup here and put something together, a little bit better execution.
Mick Watterson in that first half, a 63-yard touchdown run. See if the Boxers try to get him catching fire again. Isaiah Laguerre on the end around give, trying to cut back up into the middle and turning the corner. Isaiah Laguerre, can he stay in bounds? He's run out of bounds at the
Laguerre
21.
run out of bounds by Vince Gilchrist.
So that'll bring
Dylan
up a
Riley
third and about
and Mike
7.
Gordon.
That was a great effort for him to get where he got to, because there was really nothing there. The defense had him pinned behind the line of scrimmage, and he put on his speed and went around the corner. And tippy-toed down the line for a few more yards, and now it's third and about, what, 7 or 8?
10.5 to go in this one. It'll be third and about 8 to go for the Boxers, who go 5 wide. Medley in a clean backfield in the
Third
shotgun.
and 8.
Medley back to pass. Pressure up the middle, and Medley's going to be sacked in the backfield, back at the 15-yard line. A huge stop in the first sack of the
Medley
evening
sacked by
for
number
the Xaverian
99,
defense.
Mike DeGloria.
Mike DeGloria, the senior defensive lineman, he's a big boy, 6'3", 215.
Yeah, he did a nice job pursuing the quarterback and chased him down and took him down. Good defensive stand by the Xaverian Hawks. So their offense will get the ball back.
McCarthy picks up the ball and kicks it away from the 5 into the wind. A nice kick all the way down to the 32. Wenstrom picks it up and very unwisely tries to run it up ahead. He was swallowed up by about 8 of the 11 Boxers on
Justin
the field.
Wenstrom was tackled down at
Yeah,
the
he took a chance there, but
35-yard line.
it seemed like it was such a great kick that it took a while for the Boxers to get
9:31
down there.
remaining in the game.
So he decided to go ahead and pick it up, and he got a few yards, but it might have been a penalty on the play. The referees, no penalty.
Just a while to spot that ball down at the 36.
Yep. With 9:31 on the clock left in this football game.
They give to Kelkhorst, a gain of about 2 before he's stacked up. Brockton moving on to play Durfee High School in the homecoming game next Saturday afternoon at Marciano Stadium. 2 p.m. kickoff in that one. We'll be there for you on Brockton Community Access. Meanwhile, Xaverian travels up to St. John's in Shrewsbury to face the perennial powerhouse. Lodi gives back to Kelkhorst, and it'll be third and about 2 to go. Kelkhorst has had a pretty nice evening here.
Yeah, he's been going. He's a slasher type
Third
running back,
down
runs
for the
hard.
Hawks.
You pay the price if you're going to tackle him. Tough runner.
Berluti again to Kelcourse. This time he's knocked down in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard.
Looks like they're going to give him a
They're going to
yard.
give him a generous
Kelcourse
spot.
with
That's
the carry,
4th
but
and
he's
1
short of the
now.
first down. 4th down and a yard for the Hawks.
And you know they're going to, with 8:14 left on the clock and running, they're down 2 touchdowns. You know they're going for it.
Absolutely 4-down territory in the wet, windy, nasty Hawk Bowl here in Westwood, Massachusetts.
And even though they're in their own territory, they're going to have to go for it because of the time factor.
And you're kicking into the wind anyway.
Right.
Power I. Berluti under center. Berluti, quarterback keeper. Bootleg again. He's got a first down and more. Berluti all the way up.
Mike Berluti elects to keep the ball.
And he is a very fired up quarterback for the Xaverian Hawks all the way down to the 35-yard line.
That was a great call there. Fooled the Brockton defense. Sort of like a little bootleg.
That tackle was made by number 34,
And they're
Diamond
deep
Blakely.
in, well, they're inside the 40 of Brockton. Great call there by the coaches on the sideline for the Xaverian Hawks, and great execution.
Timeout.
Timeout Brockton with 7:11 to go in the fourth quarter.
7:11
Trying to
remaining
hold on
in
to
the game.
28-14 lead here at the Hawk Bowl. One of these teams ultimately I think will be eliminated from the playoffs based on the results of this game.
Yeah, and you put it well there. Brockton's trying to hold on here. Their offense has been shut down here in the second half, Matt.
Of course, the playoffs going all by the MaxPreps.com power rankings in Division I. Coming into this game, Brockton was 54, Xaverian was 48 in those power rankings. Top 20 to make the tournament. Of course, Brockton always finishing off the regular season on a high note against their former Big Three division rivals, now the Southeast Conference in every sport that's not football. Conferences no longer exist in MIAA football.
10 for the Hawks.
Durfee and New Bedford, the last two opponents for Brockton. Boxers falling. Here's a shot and broken up, but a flag thrown down at the 5-yard line. It's going to be pass interference.
On the play.
Dimitri Tsumbanos was the intended receiver.
Yeah, covering him was Adrian Fillet, and he did have his hands on the receiver. And so they're going to call defensive pass interference. Great route by the receiver because he was kind of speedy, and
interference.
Adrian was really having a tough time keeping up with him, and he put his hands on him. And the referees were right there.
Wenstrom, and he's got it down at the 17-yard line.
That pass is complete to Justin
That was
Wenstrom.
great concentration by Renstrom, the wide receiver. Ball bounced out of his hands, but he kept his eyes on it and came down with it.
First down for the Hawks.
6:50 left in this football game.
High snap bobbled by Berluti. He's in trouble. Trying to turn the corner, he does, but running out of bounds at the 17. That's right back at the original line of scrimmage.
Well, I tell you, Berluti showed his speed right there because there were some boxers right on him in the backfield, and they just couldn't quite catch up to him. And he was able to stop the clock, run out of bounds with 6:42 remaining.
Berluti is quick, 6 foot, 150 pounds, so he's not carrying much weight with him.
He's got those long legs, so he can really stretch them out.
Boxers falling ultimately to two of the teams that are in the
down
top
and
15
11.
in the state. Everett Natick. Lynn Classical was the other one that was last second, but high scoring game, 48-40. Here's Berluti that throws it into the middle. He's got it, an excellent catch.
Xaverian.
Yeah, that was a great catch. Defender was right there, and he went up for it. And he really wanted it and was rewarded with the great catch in the end zone.
Dimitri Tsumbanos on the catch, the senior wide receiver, 6'2", $175, using every inch of that 6'2", $175 frame.
Exactly. And he had the concentration right there in this rain and wind. Brockton's defender did all that he could, but knock it out of his hands.
This is interesting. Berluti's first attempt into the wind on the far side, and it is right through the uprights.
Kick is good.
It's a 7-point ball game. It's a 7-point ball game. The scoreboard took a second.
6:33 remaining.
28-21 the score. Brockton now hanging on as time winds down here in the fourth quarter.
And still a lot of time to play football. 6:33 on the clock. A lot of time. What Brockton has to do right now, they have to get some type of drive going. They really haven't gotten much of any drives here in the second half, and they need to do something to run this clock now.
Finishing the first half strong with 4 seconds to go after the Devin DiCarvalho interception returned to the 4-yard line. And ultimately, the Boxers, that was the last score for the Brockton Boxers offense late in that first half. And since then, it's been all Xaverian.
Yep.
And it's a new kicker.
For Xaverian, Oliver Waddleton.
Oliver Waddleton, the sophomore, 5'10", 175, and the ball has blown off the tee. I'm surprised that's the first time that's happened tonight.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened more often.
Here's the kick for Waddleton's very slow approach. Right at the 20-yard line, handled by Meek Watterson. Right up the middle, he's hit by a whole gaggle of Hawks, and down at the 29 is going to be the spot. 6:24 to go, so Brockton's got to really play the clock game, but also be productive at the same time.
Yeah, and one key part of the offense right now for the Boxers is their offensive line. They're going to have to really step up and push this defensive Xaverian team back on their heels and let the running back or the quarterback do their thing out there. And that'll be a key, is Brockton's offensive line at the moment. And protect the quarterback if Medley's going to pass.
Medley in the gun. The give to Isaiah Laguerre. No, it's a quarterback keeper for Devontae Medley, trying to get to the corner on the far side. He's got a gain of about 6 yards. It'll be second and a very generous spot. It'll be second and about 2.
Yeah, that was a rollout option. Looks like he possibly could have pitched it out. That kind of froze the outside defenders. Then he cut right up the middle for the nice gain.
Devontae Medley north of 100 yards now, his 13th carry on the evening here in Westwood. Medley in the gun, 4 wide, 2 split to each side. Watterson to Medley's right. Low snap, and Watterson able to...
Watterson was tackled by Colin Howe.
It's a loss of a couple.
Yep. Xaverian's defensive line was able to penetrate
number 91,
and stop
Matt
that play from
DeFeo,
developing right away. So big third down and short for the Boxers.
Third down for Brockton.
Still a lot of time left, 5 minutes, 6 seconds and counting.
Big third and 2.5 to go for the Boxers. 3 wide, 2 running backs behind Medley. Medley, quarterback keeper, picks up a blocker. He's got a first down. Devontae Medley into the open field. Devontae Medley is gonna go all the way. Touchdown, Boxers.
Wow. Wow. And no flags.
63-yard run to the house for Devontae Medley. with 4:46 to go in the fourth quarter. Brockton takes back their 2-touchdown lead.
Wow, that was clutch right there, and let's give the offensive line credit for opening up a hole for Medley to gain access and let him do his thing after that, and that was just a great job running the football through the defenders, the defensive backs, and outrunning them nicely for a clutch play right there.
The kick is up and no good
That
for
kick is no good.
the Boxers, so it's 34-21 with 4:46 to go. That is the second 63-yard run for the Boxers for a touchdown, the first to Meek Watterson.
And right there, as I said, the offensive line had to step up, and they stepped up at the right time with that quarterback keeper and let their quarterback Medley do his thing out there on the field, and he took it to the house.
Devontae Medley with his second touchdown of the night here at the Hawk Bowl. Brockton trying to put the nail in the coffin on their 800th win in program history.
We still got time, though. It's 4:46. All the Hawks need is a big play, but think about the Hawks today. They basically have been moving the football down the field methodically. No real big plays, and that's what they need right now because the clock is not in their favor.
Meek Watterson to kick it away. That's a nice boot for Meek Watterson all the way through the end zone for a touchback.
Wow.
That will come back out to the
That was
20-yard line,
That was a pro kickoff there.
where it will be 1st and 10 for the Hawks with 4:46
Now
remaining in
this
that
momentum
game.
should shift over to the Brockton defense, and they need to do their thing out there now. As the offense has done their thing, let's see what Brockton's defense can do.
4:46 to go. Brockton leaves it in the hands of their defense, up by 2 scores late in the fourth quarter. Michael Berluti, high snap, back to pass, over the middle, it's intercepted! Did he catch it? Devin Forts had it right in his hands.
He knows it too.
It's gonna fall incomplete. Devin Forts almost sealing it for
Incomplete
the
pass.
Boxers.
Yeah.
2nd down.
And that's the tough thing for Xaverian to do. They have to pass the football.
Devin Fortes almost with the defensive play of the game.
Yeah.
Berluti to pass. This one complete to Zumbanos.
That pass is complete to
He's
Dimitri
to the
Zumbanos.
30. It should be enough for a first down. 1st and 10 for the Hawks now, 4:29 and counting.
Yep, the Hawks are in a pass mode right now,
They got to move the ball quick.
and they've got to get bigger yardage than a 10-yard
Here's
catch.
Kelcourse up the middle, and he's going to gain of about 9.
Kelcourse with the carry.
I think that play kind of fooled Brockton's defense a little bit.
2nd
Caught him off
down and
guard
less
with a
than a
little run.
yard.
Sophomore running back, 5'11", buck 85, Joe Kelcourse, number 42 in Navy. He is in the backfield to Berluti's left. 3 wideouts, Berluti in the gun, back to pass. Michael Berluti looking long. He's got his man, number 10, who was knocked out of
That pass
play.
is complete to number 10,
Noah Canty, the junior tight end.
And that's what Xaverian needs right now. Big pass plays like that. And he was knocked out of
Canty was
bounds,
pushed
so
out
that
of
stops the
bounds by number
clock.
25
With
is
3:39
Johnny
left
Horn.
in this football game.
29-yard grab for Noah Canty. Now Berluti in the gun again. Back to pass. Long to the sideline. Zumbanos is going to say he's out of bounds on the far sideline.
The pass was
Would have been a
complete to
phenomenal
Dimitri
catch
Tsimbenos,
for
but
Sabanos
ruled
on the
out
far
of
side.
bounds.
He just ran out of real estate over there.
Second down and 10
I
for the
tell you,
Hawks.
Xaverian's offensive line is giving their quarterback enough time. Brockton needs to put a little bit more pressure on the quarterback while he's in there in the pocket.
Breeze Wild on the scoreboard. 3:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Brockton trying to hang on and get the victory here at the Hawk Bowl. Berluti to pass, looking screen, now looking to Wenstrom. It is incomplete.
Incomplete pass.
Big fourth down or third down? Yep, third down.
3rd and 10
Third and 10.
from the 33-yard line. (34-21) your score. Brockton on top of the Xaverian Hawks, trying to get their first win here at the Hawk Bowl in recent memory. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
3rd and 10, Berluti in the gun for receiver set. Kelcourse to his left, back to pass, short, incomplete, 4th down for Xaverian.
Intended for Dylan Riley. That
And
pass
this is
is
Xaverian's
incomplete.
biggest fourth down of the evening,
4th
right
down
here.
now for Xaverian.
It's a do or die situation with 3:27 on the clock.
3:27, the Brockton Boxers, if they make the stop here, they get 2 first downs. That's game over. It has been a dandy here at the Hawk Bowl between longtime rivals Xaverian Hawks and the Brockton Boxers.
And with hawkish weather.
Heavy rain and mist all night here in Westwood, Massachusetts. Berluti in trouble. He's rolling out. In trouble. He's going to toss it up, and it's incomplete. That's a turnover on downs forced by the Brockton defense, and that is a good stop
That pass
after
is
Xaverian
incomplete.
seemed to be putting together a nice drive.
A turnover on downs will
That was,
make
a,
it
that, was,
first
excuse me,
and
that was a
10
great
for the Boxers.
defensive play right there. That was a classic
their own
blitz.
32
You send
yard
in your linebackers, put the pressure on the quarterback, make them come out of the pocket, and it was just a tough play for Berluti to make something happen, but great defensive call right there, blitz call for the Boxers, and they get the ball back with 3:19 on the clock.
Boxers up by 2 scores, 34-21, 3:19 to go in the fourth quarter. How sweet it would be if Brockton can finish it off and get their 800th win against their longtime rival, the Xaverian Hawks. 3 receivers set, 2 backs, Medley in the shotgun. They give to Meek Watterson, who lost the ball.
Loose ball recovered
And
by
Xaverian
number
recovers the
65.
fumble. Not sure what happened to force that ball
Howe.
loose for Meek Watterson, who is usually very short-handed in the Boxers' backfield.
Yeah, I'm surprised, but with the way the weather is, and gives Xaverian defense credit, somebody went in there and swiped that ball out of his hands. The ball is wet, but great defensive play right there for the Hawks, and
It ain't over yet.
it sure isn't. Even though it's 3:13 left on the clock is not in the Hawks' favor, but there's still time. Anything can happen.
Berluti in the gun, 3 receivers set. Kelcourse to his right. Berluti back to pass. Looking over the middle, it's a high rainbow, and it falls incomplete, overthrown by about 5 yards. With the stoppage, we want to make
Incomplete
time
pass.
with the exciting finish that we're sure to see. To thank our cameraman for tonight's festivities, who is probably an icicle up on the roof here at the Hawk Bowl, Mike the Postman Simmons, with yet another delivery to the viewers of Brockton.
Did you say a icicle, popsicle?
He's an icicle up there.
A wet icicle.
He might be a glacier up there at this point. It's cold, rainy, wet, overall nasty.
Yeah, he's doing a yeoman effort this evening.
High snap, Berluti handles it, hands off to Kelcourse, who is knocked down in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard.
Joe Kelcourse
Nice
with
defensive
nowhere to
play
go.
by the Boxers right there.
That's
Third
going to
down
bring
for
up
Xaverian.
3rd and 12 for the Xaverian Hawks. Time not on their side as we cross 3 minutes, 2:48 to go now in the fourth quarter.
I know Kevin McCarthy was involved with that play. Number 87, 6'2" senior.
Berluti in the gun, 3 receivers. Kelcourse to his left. Berluti back to pass. Is incomplete, 4th and 12.
Yeah, that ball went right through his hands.
That
Very
ball is
slick.
incomplete. 4th and 12.
Another big
now
4th
for
down
Xaverian.
situation for the Boxers.
2:25 to go in the 4th quarter.
2:25 remaining in the game.
Brockton's defense stepping it up after a not so good 3rd quarter. Turning it back on. That's been Brockton's strong suit all year, save for that game against Lynn Classical where they gave up 48 points. It's winning time here in Westwood. Berluti in the gun. Trips to the near side, clean on the far side. Back to pass is Michael Berluti, the junior quarterback, rolling out to the 40. He's going to toss it. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Brockton takes over with 2:18 to go.
Yeah, he was looking for a pass interference call, but he didn't get it. The referee was right there on the play.
Gilchrist, the intended receiver.
Yeah, he comes up limping a little bit.
No flag on the
And
play.
with 2:18,
That's
it's
a
safe to
turnover
say
on downs.
Boxers could
Brockton
come
will have
out of
the
here
ball
with the
first
win
and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
at Hawk Stadium.
And what a storyline for the Brockton Boxers. Not only do you get win number 800 in program history, you, for all intents and purposes, knock the Xaverian Hawks out of playoff contention.
Yes, on their own,
On-time rivals.
on their home field.
They give the quarterback keeper to Medley, and they'll just run the clock out here.
Yep.
They need 1 first down to wrap things up. And a timeout called by Xaverian to stop it with
Xaverian.
2:03 to go. Down 34-21 to the Brockton Boxers. It's been a very exciting evening here despite all the rain, wind, and nasty weather.
Yeah, very exciting football game on both sides of the coin. Boxers having more big plays than Xaverian, but Xaverian using the ball control and marching down the field to score touchdowns.
Brockton moving on to play Durfee High School. The Hilltoppers coming to Marciano Stadium next Saturday at 2 p.m. in Brockton's homecoming game. They finish off the regular season down at New Bedford High School. .203 to go here in the 4th quarter. The Boxers trying to put the finishing touches on the Xaverian Hawks here in Westwood, Massachusetts, getting their first victory here at the Hawk Bowl.
Second down.
First time in at least my commentary career since 2013. They give to Watterson, Amik Watterson, right up the middle. He's in the open field, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Boxers.
Wow. And no flags. Another great job there by the offensive line to open up a hole for Watterson to get through, and he was off to the races after that. Nobody was going to catch him.
A 64-yard touchdown run for
Touchdown
Amik Watterson.
by Amik
That's
Watterson.
his 3rd touchdown of the evening. A 60-yard run, a 63-yard run, and now outdoing himself with a 64-yard run to seal this game away with 1:53 to go in the 4th. It is 40-21, Brockton on top.
And you said it exactly. That seals up the win for this hard-fought game by the Brockton Boxers.
And you had the feeling that right up until that last 4th down stop, Xaverian had a chance to come back.
Yeah, but give the coach's offensive coordinator credit. Give the ball to Watterson because he's liable to break it away at any time. And Xaverian was in a tight formation.
Marcelo Tenorio, he's good.
That
A
kick is
20-point
good.
lead for the Brockton Boxers, 41-21
Brockton
the score
40,
with a
21,
$1:53 to go here
41,
at the Hawk Bowl in
remaining
Westwood.
in the game.
Yeah, that was a perfect equation right there for Watterson to break it open. with Xaverian's defensive setup. And again, give credit to the Brockton offensive line doing their job right there till the bitter end, opening a hole up for Watterson and letting him do his thing on that 64-yard touchdown run.
Well, it seems like it's been forever for the Brockton Boxers since they've gotten a victory. It was Week 1 against the Duxbury Dragons at Marciano Stadium that the Boxers won. They've lost 3 straight since then to Lynn Classical Natick in Everett.
All tough teams that they lost to.
2 of those 3 are in the top 15 in the Max Prep rankings. Lynn Classical not far behind them. And the key here is it's based off of the power ranking. So even if you lose, if it's a good game and you hang with Everett and Natick, which the Boxers did, 35-25 the final score of Natick and 36-21 to Everett, but that was very close up until the end of the third quarter. So we'll see if the Max Preps committee can throw the Boxers a bone and really say, well, those are 2 very tough opponents that the Boxers really held tough with. And it was only a couple of mistakes that cost the Boxers those 2 games. And then finishing it off here
at the 40-yard line.
Xaverian leading by 20 with $1:47 to go, and I'm sure,
147
knock on
remaining
wood, that
in
the
the
Boxers
game.
will have no problems with Durfee and New Bedford, as they typically don't. So the Boxers, I think, will finish the season 4-3.
Yeah, there's a good chance the Boxers could come out of here with a winning.
They could sneak into the playoffs on the back end of those rankings.
Exactly.
Berluti in the gun, 2 running backs. The man in motion is number 44, Mike Gordon. The screen pass complete to Dylan Riley. Riley picking up a blocker across the 50 to the 45-yard line.
Dylan Riley
1:40 to go.
midfield.
It's a first down for the Hawks, who are still
First down
trying.
for the Hawks.
An admirable effort here for El Fornaro's Xaverian Hawks.
Boxers will have a nice ride home from Westwood, Massachusetts. I was
going to say Westwood, way up north next to Lowell. Intended for...
Berluti's pass is incomplete.
I think that was Wenstrom, and that brings up a 2nd and 10 from the 45, $1:25 to go now in the fourth quarter.
Boxers with a well-deserved win this evening
And
on enemy territory.
How nice it is for the Boxers to get Amik Watterson back. Here's Berluti looking long over the middle. A spiral falls incomplete. Amik Watterson, 3
Incomplete
touchdowns,
pass
all runs
intended
of
for
60
Dylan
yards,
Riley.
63 yards,
Third down
and 64
and 10.
yards. He left the Everett game in the middle of the first quarter with a concussion and was able to recover during the bye week. Suiting back up for the Boxers and putting on one of those all-time efforts for Peter Colombo's Brockton Boxers. Berluti complete to the far side for Gordon, and a nice tackle on
That
the
pass
far
was complete
side.
to
It
Mike
brings
Gordon.
up a 4th down and about 5.
Yeah, nice tackle by Devin Fortes.
That tackle was made by number 12, Devin Fortes. 4th down
With
for the
59
Hawks.
seconds left until Boxer victory.
Third receiver set. Wenstrom to the far side. Berluti in the gun. The pass screen that was intended for Gordon, who didn't turn around to get it.
Incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass. That's a turnover on downs.
A turnover
One knee
on
will
down.
finish it off for the Brockton
First and
Boxers, who
10
come
for the
in
Boxers.
and get
38
800th
seconds on the
win in
clock.
program history here at the Hawk Bowl, and what a nice storyline for Peter Colombo to get that big number, 800 in Brockton High's history against their longtime rivals, the Xaverian Hawks, who have really gotten the better of the Brockton Boxers in recent years. 7 straight victories, in fact, for the Xaverian Hawks against Brockton going back the last handful of years. Classic matchup, and Brockton in victory formation here in Westwood. The knee from Devontae Medley, and that will do it. The final score, 41-21. The Brockton Boxers getting the victory, the season-saving victory over the Xaverian Hawks here at the Hawk Bowl at Xaverian High School. And a complete effort for the Brockton offense. 3 touchdowns for Amik Watterson, 2 for Devontae Medley.
We will see you back here
and
next
1 for
Friday night
Noah
as the Hawks
Oluwu.
take on the Pioneers.
And a good
from
defensive
St.
effort,
John's High
especially
School
in that fourth
Shrewsbury.
quarter for the Brockton defense.
folks.
Miles, who created 3 turnover on downs in winning time against Xaverian, when their offense was stringing together a couple of nice drives and the defense really held tough.
Yeah, they did, and I'd have to give player of the game to Watterson with his 3 touchdowns, big touchdowns for the Boxers, and just a great overall effort by the defense and the offense. Offense a little sluggish in that second half, but they came around in that fourth quarter to do their thing to put this thing out of reach.
Miles, the big guns working for the offense tonight. Devontae Medley leading the effort as the junior quarterback of the Boxers. Amik Watterson, 3 touchdowns for the Boxers. Talk about that offensive effort and what it means going into the last couple of games against Durfee and New Bedford, and ultimately into what the Boxers hope is a playoff run.
Well, it gives them a lot of momentum. They come out of here on enemy territory and get a win, so it just gives all the kids some momentum going against Durfee up next at homecoming, as you said, and just a great win for Coach Colombo and his coaching staff.
800 wins in Brockton High School program history, Miles. Many of them coming against the Xaverian Hawks, especially in the early years of this rivalry in MIAA Super Bowls.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Peter Colombo's father, Armin Colombo, is looking down on him, giving him a nice smile and a nice pat on the back for continuing the great tradition here at Brockton High School.
It'll be a nice ride down 128 for the victorious Brockton Boxers. The final score, 41-21. The Boxers getting the victory over longtime rival, the Xaverian Hawks, for overall win number 800 in Brockton High program history. For everyone here at BCA Sports, our cameraman Mike the Postman Simmons doing yeoman's work up on top of the mast here at the Hawk Bowl on a rainy, windy night here in Westwood. My broadcast partner, Big Game Miles Jackson. I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson, and we will see you next game.